Let's take a look at the third page here. A resume should answer only one question. Why should they hire you? If it says anything else, it's a waste of your time and theirs. You're applying for a position, you're focusing on a job position, that's exactly what you should do. Not say anything else. Executive summary, basically you are summarizing your accomplishments and achievements, things that you have done effectively and that you're good at doing, so they need to know what it is. If you use any of these phrases, I have experience in exactly this area, I'm a team player, I'm proactive. A lot of people here at the university say proactive. Oh, I'm proactive. Well, what are you proactive at? Well, I don't know, I haven't thought about it. Well, think about it. Come up with something that tells me what you're good at doing. Proactive, if you're on a team of some sort, a group of people, you've done seminars, associations, conventions, what have you, where you've led a group. Power words. Anytime you can inject power words into your speech, your speaking, your literature, your resume, what have you, these are impressive. Expertise is a very good one. Skill is another. Knowledge, leadership. Increased, decreased something, percentages. Finished under budget. Anytime you can tell somebody you have saved them money, they're going to listen. They're going to like that. Or you can make them money, it's very effective. So try to put these in there. Tutored, trained, also very good as a university student. Link and highlight many of the companies where you have worked. You have online portfolios. Let them know where to look. Would you please, a little higher up? Okay, good. Education. Education, put your most important and recent degree first. The one that's most important to the employer to whom you are applying. You have any scholarships, any awards, also put those on there. They're impressive. Experience. How many of you have experience? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes? I don't care if you made any money with it or not. What I need to know is that you know how to work. You can get to work on time. You can work on projects with teams. You can meet deadlines. A deadline is something that, for example, if I ask you Friday by 5 o'clock, you can have it done by Friday at 5 o'clock, not 5:15 or not on Saturday. So I need to know these things. So anything you've done that's good work experience. If you haven't worked, tell me about some of the projects where you've worked. Many of you have been mentors, you've been monitors, you have worked in the library, you have done something here to help with your education. Tell me about it, that's very relevant. Personal skills, okay? Any foreign languages that you speak, tell me about them. If I ask you how well you speak English, this is what you're going to say. I speak English fluently. How well do you speak English? Fluently. Don't tell me 50% or 70%, that doesn't make any sense. I want to hear it. Even if you don't, you will, and real fast. If you speak a third or fourth language, the same thing. Fluently. It has magic in it. Read, write, and speak fluently. Travel visas, foreign residencies, or any type of foreign study program that you have experienced is very important. It's a big plus for any company. It knows, first of all, I know when I look at that you can handle the language pretty well. You can also handle the culture and environment pretty well. It is different, so it's a different set of circumstances. It's a growing experience, so I know you can do well with that. If you're a captain of your sports team, that shows me that you can handle people. You can do a lot of things with that. And you can be in charge of something and get it done. Any experience with international business, accounting, finances, banking is also another big plus. Doesn't matter what your career is. This is very important because every company needs to be able to do business effectively with others. So consequently, this is all very good. And please, no references. If I need a reference, I will ask you for it. And if you use a reference, somebody's name, make sure that you call them first and ask them their permission. And if they give you a nice reference, call them up and thank them. You may have to use it again sometime. So this gives you some nice pointers, and please keep all these in mind. Okay, let's take a look at the next segment. basically an interviewing skills workshop. Topics for discussion. Interviewing etiquette, yes? Behavior. What's an interview? Questions that you can ask in an interview when you get the opportunity. Professional suicide. What's suicide? Boom. All right, we'll take a look at that. That's really good. Types of interviews I mentioned to you, and we're going to do some simulacros, role plays. Now, that'll be fun. We'll give you a nice tune-up. Next one, please. Okay. First and foremost, be on time. Is this a problem in Cali?
Yes.
Is it becoming a bigger problem? Yes. Unfortunate, but true. If you know that and you have to be someplace on time, prepare. Leave extra early. If it's worth going there, it's worth getting there on time. Somebody will be watching the clock. And you do your pasantías, take a good look where you're going to do them and with whom, because the travel time can be extensive from north to south and back and forth. Okay? So take that into consideration. I have class here at 7. I arrive at 6 because there's no traffic. At 6:15, forget it. I can't get on the road. So I come early and bring all my stuff and coffee and sit and do things. So no excuses with that. This is very important. Okay, next one. Good grooming is a standard. What is good grooming? Anybody know? You want to look nice. Men and women alike, you want to have everything ship-shape, top condition. Another word for that is executive presence. What do you look like when you come in? What do people see? How do they feel when they look at you? Many times the decision is taken in the first 5 to 10 seconds when they see somebody walk in the door. How you greet people will be noticed. How you stand, how you sit, how you walk. Boom, back straight, nice. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. My name is so-and-so. Be sharp, the best you can be. Always be well manicured. What's manicured? Ladies, conservative nail polish, like dark reds and dark blues, or they nice clear with a little line there. That's nice. I saw some of that today. No oranges, no greens or yellows, and none of that stuff. This little finger here, I see somebody spending a lot of money decorating this particular nail. I don't know why, but yeah, you spend good money on that. I mean, they look nice, but don't do that when you go talk to somebody. It doesn't give a good image. Gentlemen, I have a thing about men and nail polish. I do see some gentlemen with transparent nail polish. That's fine. What's important is that your nails are very clean. Hands are clean, everything else. Everything has to be nice and filed. There's nothing unmanly, quite the contrary. A gentleman has good, clean hands. Do you ladies like a man to touch you that has dirty fingernails? Okay, yeah, terrible. You have to, good appearance. 5 o'clock shadow. We'll talk about this in a second. Tough guy look. We have any tough guys here? Yeah, 1 or 2. Wild hairstyle. We'll take a look at that also. Let's see the first one. 5 o'clock shadow and beards. I'm sure this gentleman thinks he's God's gift to women. He is not. He needs, first of all, to get a nice haircut, decent haircut, okay? He definitely needs a shave. Your face should be nice and clean. What is your name, sir?
Mateo.
Mateo. You have a nice facial hair there, okay? That's very nice hair. In fact, I bet you walk up and down the hallway here and the girls go ballistic. Huh? Ooh, aquí viene Mateo. Okay, papito. No? I don't see anyone saying no. Yeah? Me encantaría tocarle la cara. Yeah. That's fine here. Shave it off, nice and clean. It will grow back in a couple of days. Don't worry. You think he needs a tie? Yes? How many of you gentlemen can tie a tie? Raise your hands. 1, 2. Really? I'm impressed. You know how many, I've been doing this since Monday morning this week. Only one, honest to God, male has been able to tie a tie. 2 women have been able to tie ties. And how many students have I had in here? Probably 200 or 300 at least. Next slide, please, if you would be so kind. Rugged guy, tough guy look. Yeah, you look kind of rugged. You come to my door and say, I'm here to collect the money. Okay? This is fine here at the university. But when you go for a professional interview, you want to look as much of a gentleman as possible. Even if you have these big muscular arms, you might want to cover them up with a nice long sleeve shirt and look presentable. Okay? This is one of my cousins up in West Virginia, the mountains. Girls, you want to meet him? Introduce you. No? No les llama la atención? I can't understand why. Yeah, you really don't touch. Next one, please. Ladies, do I have to explain the word cleavage? Is that necessary?
No.
All right. Do we see a lot of this in Cali? Yes. Do you think it is appropriate dress when you go for a professional interview? No. Why not? It's not very ladylike, I assure you. And it will not win you points with anybody in the interview. I've had a few young ladies show up like this in interviews I've done here, and I said, look, sweetheart, it's very nice, but that's not what we're looking for, okay? All right, I'm a typical man, all right, but this is as far as it goes. Professionally, unacceptable. The most attractive women are the ones who are fully dressed. Here, nice skirt, don't show them anything. Seriously. Go to some of these banks. Bank presidents, some of the ladies who work there, some of them are beautiful. They have completely long sleeves, dresses, pantsuit, everything. You can't see anything, but they look great. It's a very conservative environment, but very professional. Now, they're all handling money and so forth. Very serious. That's the way it should be. So, enough said about that. No fancy haircuts. Gentlemen, what kind of haircuts are you? Well, esto me da envidia sana. I used to have hair like that when I was 19, a long time ago, okay? You go for an interview, we're going to have to take you to the salon de belleza, okay? Zzz, and then we'll shave. It'll grow back in a couple weeks, don't worry. But it's very nice. The rest of you, okay, yeah, so no problem here. See how he shaved the side of his head? Not a good idea. Next one. Wild hair. None of this stuff either. This is not a discotheque on a Saturday night, okay? Nice conservative haircut, and take it easy with that. Next one. No flirting. What is that? Alright, yes. Mr. Francois here goes in, and what is your real name? Juan, excuse me, okay? I told you I'm very sarcastic. Juan goes in and he sees a nice secretary and he says, Cuba. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Tu teléfono? ¿Sí? ¿Estás casado? ¿Tienes novio? Okay, that's fine, but you don't know. She might be the boss's daughter. Yeah, the CEO might be her father or something. What are you in to know? Be careful with that stuff. This is not the time or place to be doing that with anybody. Very professional behavior, very nice, very courteous, but keep it professional. More basic tips. Fresh breath is a priority. What's breath? I always carry a bunch of these things around because I know after talking and drinking coffee for a while, your breath gets pretty fresh. Hi. How are you? Don't be eating foods that are strong. Tuna fish, liver, onions, garlic, any of that stuff the day you're going to go talk to somebody. Yeah, it'll smell. I don't care how much you brush your teeth and mouthwash, you still smell like tuna fish and garlic. Not good. So, if you smoke, does anybody here smoke? All right, if you do not smoke for at least a day before you go there. Suffer. 2 days, because the smell permeates everything. Your hair, your skin, your clothing. And someone like me will smell it, or most of you will smell it immediately. It's not a healthy signal. Don't take a bath in cologne or perfume. Too much makeup. Don't plaster your face with this stuff. Tattoos. Does anybody have a tattoo? Okay, is it anywhere we can see? Good, keep it that way. Yeah, not everybody likes tattoos. I personally do not care, but some people do not like them. So until you know them and they know you well, keep them covered up. Earrings. Ladies, small earrings, not big ones. Little small ones. Gentlemen, no earrings. Do any of you gentlemen have an earring today? Do you have an earring under that hair? No? Good. Anybody else? All right, I see. Okay, good. Pretty conservative. Yeah, if you have any, leave them at home. Don't wear these things. These also give the wrong idea sometimes. Keep in mind, the farther you go up the corporate ladder, the more conservative things become. Usually. Not always, but as a rule, the higher up they go, the more conservative they are. So you're much better off playing on the conservative side. Next one, please. How to dress for success. Ladies, knee-length skirt, preferably down here. Why? Because what happens? You know what I'm going to do. When you sit down, your skirt comes up, right? Zip. What happens if you cross your legs? Zip. Yes, you're showing half of your legs and half of your body. That's not what you're there for. If you're talking to a man, you want to do everything to keep his attention focused here, because men will become distracted very easily. Don't you? Yeah. Some lady sits down in front of you with her legs. No. The way to avoid that, keep a nice long skirt. Even the ladies that interview you, they're not going to like it either. A lot of them are a little bit older, they work for human resources. Most of the women that work in human resources are older and they're psychologists. And they have a completely different profile they look at when they interview you. Doesn't matter if you're an engineer, marketing expert, economist, what have you, you have to go through them first. And they will definitely have a different point of view. It's very important, again, have the conservative look. You can always change it later. But if you go in showing too much, it gives the wrong image. And it's very difficult to change that afterwards. Gentlemen, the same thing. When you sit down, none of this stuff. Hey, my name's John. Man, I have nothing to hide. I let it all hang out. Huh, yeah, right. Keep them closed, guys. Some of you have big thighs, legs from playing football. Well, suffer. Too bad. Oh, me duele. Well, you have to get the duele, okay? If you cross your legs this way, if you can, do not do this stuff. Nobody wants to see the back of your leg there. Do you like seeing a man sit that way? No, no, you can't. Yeah, depende de mamá. Yeah, no, sit like a gentleman. Unless you're talking to another man and he sits this way, then it's fine. But in front of a lady, a woman, no, don't be doing that. No tight pants. I see a lot of tight pants here also. Men and women alike. None of this stuff where you can see everything, front and back. No good. Male or female, that's not what we're there for. If you are going to wear pants, make sure they have a little extra room in them. Mine's overdone, but that's the way I like them. At my age, I don't want anything tight. It's too much. Okay, didn't come out right, sorry. Next frame. Gentlemen, ladies alike, dark suit, dark blue, dark gray or medium gray. No blacks. Black is for a funeral, okay? Browns, many of you have darker skin complexion, so it clashes. It does not go well with a darker skin complexion. You look like a big bar of chocolate that I just gave, what's your name again? Steven. Steven, okay. I can see Steven over here, some chocolate. It's not good. A nice white or dark light blue shirt and a tie with some color in it. Make sure you tie it correctly. Next one, please. Handshake. There's only one way to shake a hand. Yes? Men usually do not have a problem with this. Perfect. 50-50, nice and firm, good eye contact. You hold it for 2 or 3 seconds. Hey man, nice to meet you. Okay, yeah, nice to meet you too. All right. But the ladies, for some reason, sometimes have a problem with this. Oh, hi. ¿Qué pereza? You know, that's what you're transmitting when you have the dead fish hand. You want to keep it firm, same thing. Nice firm handshake, 50-50. Yeah, don't worry. Don't be doing this or that. It should be straight up and good eye contact, okay? That's perfect. What happens? I see some ladies here do this. Like my wife's great aunt in Bogota, she grabs you and, oh, it's not super sad. Okay? No, you don't do that, any of that stuff. One business handshake. Again, go see how some of the executive ladies shake hands and have office behavior and what we call demeanor. Yes, you'll see very good poise, very good posture, good handshakes, and so forth. The rest of this stuff, finger cruncher. Yeah, somebody goes to grab your hand, and here's what happens. Here. Shake my hand. You grab your fingers before you have a chance. This is no good. Good firm handshake. The other one, if you have a big strong hand, the bone cruncher. All right, yes, exactly. So be very careful with that, please. All these things happen sometimes and they're not good. Next frame, please. How to have a successful interview? Well, keep in mind that it's a simple business conversation, to be straight. Be ready to ask questions as well as receive them. Confirm your appointment one day ahead. It shows that you're dependable, you're on top of things, and that you're up to date with everything. How you greet the receptionist will be noticed, I guarantee it. I see many people come in this nice university and they never speak to the guards, they never speak to the secretaries, they never speak to the ladies in the hallway. Those people work hard. They work hard to provide support services for the rest of us. Plus, anybody in Colombia that has a gun is my friend. Yeah, I'm friends with all the guards where I live. And buddy, they may save your life someday, you never know. The secretaries know all the good bochiche and everybody. If you want to know something, make friends with the secretaries. Or the people in the hallway that clean and everything, that bring the coffee. There's one lady here that has been in this university 17 years. She knows everything about everybody. You make friends with her. Okay, yeah. So be nice to these people. They can help you. Plus, many times they report back to the person on top. You don't know. The CEO comes along and talks to the workers. What's going on? What have you seen today? I know for a fact that happens in a couple of companies where I go. The guard reports to the CEO every day. Who comes in, who comes out, how were they nice, were they nasty, neat, clean, what have you. And no text messages or calls while you're waiting. Now, this is a problem now. Everybody has their nose in these little iPads all the time, doing everything. Pay attention to what's going on. Turn the thing off for 15 minutes and observe and feel what is going on in that office. You might be surprised. Ladies, all of you are telepathic. You can read our minds. You know immediately when a man is lying to you. Yes? Yeah, maybe also. All right? Listen to that inner voice. It won't lie to you. Gentlemen, we have the same capacity. We just don't use it as much. Our minds and other things sometimes. But feel what's going on there. If you don't feel right, there's usually a reason. Listen to that little feeling and figure out why. But you have to be focused on what's going on. Next frame, please. Classic questions. Someone will probably ask you. The first one up there is one that somebody posed to me many, many years ago. I've already interviewed another person for this position who looks perfect. Why should I hire you? Nice question, huh? Doesn't that make you feel good? Boom. I'm going home. All right. How would you answer that? Run out the door? No, there's an easy way to answer. How would you answer? What do you think?
I think I would say that maybe I am as well as prepared as the other person, but what they'll have if they hire me is that they'll have someone who will always want to learn and put their best effort on everything they do. So.
Very good. It's basically what I told the guy. I said to him, I was a little more, like you say, atrevido. It kind of made me mad, but I said to him, look, sir, with all due respect, I don't think that's true. If you had talked to the perfect person, you would not be talking to me. Let me tell you why I think I am perfect for the position. And he starts laughing at me. Yeah, he laughed right in my face. He goes, that's a good answer. He goes, I haven't talked to anybody. I just wanted to see what you were going to say. And he goes, tell me why you're perfect. And we had a very good conversation after that. Yeah, it's what they call a smoke screen. They just want to see how you're going to react. So don't let it catch you off guard. What's your biggest weakness? There's another one. These are what we call loaded questions. They can make you or break you if you don't handle it right. What's your biggest weakness? Don't give them something that's catastrophic. Don't tell them that you're a psychopath and you have conniption fits or berrinches, like you say here. No. Tell them something that can be easily fixed. For example, I'm improving my English, so I'm taking an advanced English course at the university. Simple. It totally deviates the whole question. Or I have trouble getting out of bed in the morning, so I have 3 alarm clocks. Yeah, it's easy. I don't like driving in traffic, I don't like the bus, so I take a taxi. Does it cost me more money? Yes, but it's safer, whatever. Something that's fixable, a solution to a problem. That's what they're looking for. Or you can say, yeah, I have weaknesses, but none that will affect this position. Yeah, everybody has weaknesses. I have some things I don't like, I don't do well, and nothing will affect what I do here. Obviously. Tell me about yourself. We're going to write this little presentation this afternoon that's going to do exactly that. Tell me about yourself. Well, my name is, yes ma'am.
I have a question about the last point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've read some things about how to answer in interviews, and I've seen, like, I had a weakness, but I have already got over it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how well or how appropriate is that answer.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Everybody has weaknesses. All of us do. We have things we do well and things not so well. The whole thing with this is they want to see if you're going to fall off the abysmal. What you want to do is pick something that's easy to fix. Something that's solvable. The thing that a lot of people cannot get up early in the morning. That's a common one. Oh yeah, well, how are you going to do, what are you going to do about it? I need you here at 8 o'clock. Well, I have 3 alarm clocks. It's very solvable, okay? Or anything else that maybe is easy to fix. Don't say I'm a chain smoker and I can't quit. That doesn't get, you're unhealthy and you have a psychological problem, okay? Anything that involves psychology is not a good idea to put in there. Something's easy. What was your weakness?
I think, I have a problem with, I don't know how to say this word in English, delegate?
Delegate.
Yeah.
Delegate responsibility.
Yeah, because sometimes I just want to do everything by myself because I want to have everything under control, but I know that some other people may have abilities that can add some value to me.
What you need to, that's a common problem, especially for some managers. They have trouble delegating responsibility. It's a lack of trust in your people. You need to recruit, hire, and train people you can trust, and release some of that responsibility. That way you can work on things that are more important. It's a question of trust a lot of times, and trusting people. You don't have to do everything. I've always been a workaholic. I've tried to do everything, but I realized several years ago I don't have to do everything. Find people to do it well for you. We're putting together a very extensive website, and there's some things that I cannot do. I don't have time to do, nor the expertise, nor am I going to develop it. So I give in work to people that I know that can do better than me, and I trust them. Very simple.
But is it good to say, like, I'm working on that weakness, I'm trying to get over it, maybe give an example of
Yes.
how?
Yes. Give an example that you've been successfully able to deal with that. Absolutely. You've been able to release some of the responsibility. Again, you don't have to do everything in life. Nobody can do everything. A good manager, somebody that's really good up on top, knows how to delegate responsibility. Because they can't possibly do it all. And the larger the organization, the more delegation you have to do. That's why you have layers of management. And the ones at the bottom, they're accountable to the ones at the top, but it has to go through a whole filter system. But hopefully you hire and train the right people, take good care of them, treat them right so they'll treat you right. If you don't treat them well, they won't treat you well. It's a boomerang. And some managers forget that. By being harder on the people find a way to get even. That's not the way to do things. You want to work together, not on top of each other. But no, absolutely, that's a common problem. That's a good one too. Give them an example if they ask. Somebody may. This is one of my favorites. Who is our CEO? Yeah, there's no reason you should not know the name of that. What's your university president? What's his name?
President.
Yeah, the president here.
Francisco Pedro.
No, we don't call it rector in English. We say the director.
You don't have something like principal?
That's usually a high school or an elementary school. Yeah, the director or the president of the university is more appropriate. Does he speak English? Hmm? How do you know? Have you heard him?
I've heard he's been in the United States, so yes, he speaks English.
I've
Fluently.
Oh, he's been there all right. He's been on a nice tour of this, of Louisiana there, yeah. I'm glad he came back in one piece. Has anybody ever seen the alligators in the swamps? I lived in Florida for many years. 4 meters long. They're like prehistoric monsters is what they are. And they like humans. Anything that runs and has a heartbeat, man, they'll eat it. Yeah, no, he speaks fluently. Yes, speaks very well. I've had some discussions with him. He has a master's degree in engineering from the University of Pennsylvania. Very eloquent in his speech and everything. You can tell he spent a lot of years there. So, next one. Do you have any questions for me? These are some suggested questions that you can use. A good interviewer will, at some point in time, give you a chance to ask questions. If they don't, they're not very nice. How do you define success for this position? What skills do I need most of all the skills that I possess? And this is one of my favorites. Why is the position open? Was it due to promotion? If somebody got promoted, then it's a good sign. The company's growing, things are going well. If it's a new position they've created because of new business, that's good also. If the person was fired, that's not so good. What's fired? Despedido. Out you go. Ciao. Pescado. Okay? Not good. Then you need to do some digging and finding out why. Usually when something like that happens, both parties are at fault. They have culpability. It's not just one person or the company, but usually both are in there. So take a good look and see why it happened and evaluate it. Okay, next one, please. Dumb questions never to ask. What's dumb? Dumb and dumber? Stupid. All right. Not very intelligent. Are you going to do background checks? As soon as you're out the door, buddy, I'm going to Google your name. You can count on that. Maybe even before. Why I'm talking to you. Oh, that's nice. You were in jail. This is my favorite one. Do you require drug tests? Why do you ask? Is there a problem? Something we should know about? If any of you have a problem in this area, now is the time to deal with it. Do not wait till somebody sends you for a test, because they will. They do blood tests, urine tests, sometimes they take hair follicles, with skin samples. Yeah. Some of these things hang around for a long time, 3 to 6 months. Does anybody here study pharmaceutical chemistry in the university? This group? Okay. Yeah. Ask some of the students pharmaceutical chemistry. They'll tell you about the drugs that hang around in the system for a long time. Some in the liver, some in the skin, the nails, the hair, what have you. And they will test. I was a pharmaceutical sales representative for many years in the United States, and I had access to all kinds of stuff in the offices. And the companies know that. So periodically they would order you a drug test. They call you 10 o'clock at night and say, tomorrow morning you will report to XYZ laboratory for a drug test. Don't be late. And you better pass it. Or have a real good excuse for not. So anyway, enough said about that. Please, next one. Practice interviewing, which is what we're going to do here in a few minutes. Choose words and phrases that are easier to pronounce, especially with a second language. Yes, every language has difficult articulations. If some of you have difficulty with a TH, you have to practice it. For example, if you say things like, thank you. This is not thank you, or thank you, or thank you, or hank you, or thank you, none of that stuff. This is thank you. You must stick your tongue out and blow accordingly. It's a soft articulation, but nonetheless very necessary. Thank you. ¿Tiene lengua?
Thank you.
Ah, mejor. Su merced. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Doctor.
Thank you.
Pretty good for a Frenchman. The French don't like to do that. The French and the Germans don't like to say the TH. Yeah. Some Germans will get practically no accent in English except for the TH. It's question. Yeah. For a German to say a TH well is because they have really had to. Somebody's gotten a hold of them in a phonetic school and work. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good. Another one that's a real tongue twister. 3. This is not 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3. We have to move our lips and our mouths a lot. Yes. 3. The tongue never touches the palate with the R. We do not say 3. No. 3. Don't feel badly. There are certain sounds in Spanish which are difficult for a lot of native speakers. We as gringos do not have the ñ in English. So what happens? We have a tendency to say ano instead of año. There's a big difference. ¿Cuántos años tiene usted? ¿Cuántos el otro? If you're not careful, that's what you say. This particular one I always bring up. I usually do not say this word very much because I know the R does not come out so well. Yeah, cargado. Cargado, yeah. I have a tendency to do this. Okay? You're not the only ones that have difficulty. But look in the mirror at home and practice these. If it's really difficult in a nervous situation like an interview, don't use them. Say more than 2, less than 4. Don't be saying things like Thursday. Say maybe the day before Friday, or the day after Wednesday. Yes, it comes out better. That way you don't have to say Tuesday. There is no such thing. It doesn't exist. No, there is no such thing as Tuesday. It's either Tuesday or Thursday. Thursday, yes. Do not make any negative statements about anybody or anything, even if it's true. Don't be talking bad about the meal or the bus traffic or anything else in Cali. And it's horrible. Yeah, they don't want to hear that. How was your trip here? It was fine. Yeah. How was your trip to the university today? Oh, the traffic was great. I love it. Anyway, direct eye contact at all times. Okay. As I said a little while ago, social media suicide sites. When they want to find garbage and dirt on you, this is where they go. I have an ex-student who was in the high school where I taught for many years, a young lady who's a computer nerd. She eats, sleeps, and breathes computer technology. If I want to find something out about somebody, I usually ask her. All right? To find out something bad about this person. They look very good. Find out if they're really that good or there's something down there at the bottom. They look at Facebook, they look at LinkedIn, they look at all these little places. If you guys have posted something on there that's not appropriate, find out what it is, take good inventory, and find a way to correct it. Sometimes you can minimize it, hide it, move it, whatever. There are companies that do that. ¿En mis capas? ¿De vas?
Capita.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so be careful what you put on here. You are just beginning your professional lives. And they're good professional lives. You worked hard to get to this point. Anybody that can make it 4 years through this university and get to 8 semesters because you worked very, very hard. Don't ruin it because of something stupid that you post up here, okay? So please be careful. Next one. 3 interviewing scenarios. The telephone, face-to-face, and they invite you to eat. Let's see the first one. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Text messaging and WhatsApp is very nice for communication, but for an interview and a professional impression, the voice is always nice. Not everybody has good telephone skills. Years ago, when none of this technology existed, the only thing we had was a telephone. And we used to do training courses on how to correctly talk to people and interview over the phone. I was a sales representative again, and a lot of times I had to call customers because it was easier. Rather than driving 50 miles, pick up the phone and call them. And develop good communication skills on the phone. Your way you speak, your speech pattern, your accent, your intonation, the rapidity of your speech, slow it down, the intonation, articulation, all these things have a lot because you don't have any face contact. It's just the voice and the ear. So you have to choose very carefully. Stand up and smile when you're talking on the phone. It gives a different tone and vibration to your voice, believe it or not. It really works. You stand up, walk around, and smile, and this and that, and do something that's pleasant. The tone of your voice changes drastically. And it sounds good on the other end. If you like what they are saying, ask them if you can see them face to face. Hey, I really like what we've discussed. I would really like to meet you. May we have an appointment, an interview with you. The worst they can say is no. They will probably say yes if you've done a good job. Face to face, do not sit down until invited. It's not your home. It's a professional business office. And no fidgeting. What is fidgeting? Can't sit still. Women tend to have more difficulty with this than men. But I've seen some men that are real fidgeters over the years. Like, sit still. Stop moving around. Yes. It's most annoying. Whatever it is you have to do, do it before you come in so you can be cool and calm when you're there. And keep your hands where others can see them. Do not have your hands under the table. It doesn't give a good image. It's a subliminal message. It's like you're hiding something. In fact, in the United States, this is totally unacceptable. This comes from the days when the Old West. Anybody ever seen the Old Western movies? What happens with the card games? When somebody starts to lose? Yes. When somebody starts to lose, their hands go under the table very slowly. And a lot of people, boom, right under the table. In fact, there's a good movie called Tombstone that has that particular scene where a card dealer, things are not going well, and you see his hand very slowly drop down, and he has a itty-bitty little shotgun. Right under the end. It's on a hook so he can adjust it about a 180-degree turn. Yeah, that's typical mentality. But I've seen that in a lot of places, not just in the United States. Okay. Yes. So it gives a very bad subliminal message. Keep your hands straight up, plus it keeps your back straighter anyway. It's just good appearance. Bring 2 hard copies of your resume. With all the new communications and so forth, more is not necessarily better. A lot of stuff gets lost out there. Oh, I sent you a message. You and about 151 other people today. I haven't had time to review it. If it's important enough to go see somebody about it, bring them a nice copy on a nice piece of paper, that Kimberly stuff that costs 500 pesos a sheet. Make an investment, 1,000 pesos. Buy 2. And have it photocopied nicely and say, by the way, I brought you a hard copy of my resume, just so you can see it. You'll probably be happy because a typical executive does not have time to check it. It shows you're prepared and for any eventuality. Next one, please. Almost done. Last one. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, interview. They're not inviting you because you look hungry. This is a test, an evaluation. How well you behave yourself in a professional situation. They want to see how you eat. Many years ago, I invited a young man with me to go eat, who worked for another company. We were thinking about hiring him. Good-looking young man, well-dressed, good sales representative. He sat down and started to eat. He ate with his mouth open. Yeah, I could see the size of the hamburger and how it was being digested. That was real nice. Real appetizing, I'll tell you. Really wanted me to continue with my lunch and give him a job. Yeah, obviously that was the first and last time we ever had a meeting, so no more. And he probably never knew that he lost the job because of his eating habits. He called me a few times, said, yeah, we haven't made a decision. Yeah, I made a decision as soon as you open your mouth. 2 things you need to remember from today. Gentlemen, how to tie a tie. Go home and learn. The second is that alcohol and business do not mix. ever. All right? Be very careful, you're just beginning your professional lives. A lot of people like to drink at business meetings. A business meeting is just that. It is a business meeting. It is not a party. So be careful. You start drinking, pretty soon you start saying things you should not, and pretty things you start doing things you should not do. I've seen many good careers and a few good marriages go down the tubes because of that. Botella de vino embellecedor. You start drinking and, oh, she's not so bad, or he's not so bad, and you're with these people, you work with them, you get too friendly. There's a very fine line across which you should not go. I'll say something else along the same lines. Try not to get involved romantically with anybody at work, unless you're really going to get married and stay with them forever. Because if the relationship does not work out, then you have to look at that person every day. Yeah, it's like hell on earth. Gentlemen, you get a woman mad at you, you don't know what fun is. Nothing like the vengeance of a female, okay? In a workplace, so be careful, it can cost you. In general, it's a very uncomfortable situation if something like that happens and it doesn't go so well, okay? So please be careful. Eating habits, if you eat with people from different cultures, which many of you will, watch and see how they eat first. Every culture, every country has different eating habits and table manners. See what they do first. If you're not sure, ask them what it is they do in their culture and country, to be sure. The French, the Germans, the British, the Americans, the Colombians all have different things we do. The Japanese, the Chinese, the Koreans, even more different. The Arabs, they're off the planet. By our standards. By their standards, no. So if they are clients, ask them what is correct within their culture, and they'll probably be very happy to tell you. I've eaten with all of the above I just mentioned, and they're all different, I assure you. And so I've always asked them, well, what is appropriate in your culture? Will you please show me so I don't make a fool of myself? Yes, that can happen.